5 seconds remaining. Dire team.
All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of the broadcast here. We got game number 2 now. VGJ Storm versus Complexity coming at you. It's for the Perfect World Masters, which is a minor event. The qualifiers for the North American region, our first round matchup. Getting things kicked off here at the beginning of the week. By the end, we'll know which team is going to said LAN event. I'm Breaky CPK, joined by Ryan once again. Ryan, we got another first pick, Jakiro, coming out for Complexity. Did very well for them last game, so I can't say I'm too surprised.
I speak for the trees.
All right, so first pick Jakiro into first pick Lich, and then on the second pick, everything kind of changes a bit. So Complexity kind of having a similar thing. They've got Furion, so I think Jakiro's probably going to be playing support or mid this game. Could be either one. And Kunko is a new sight in this series. He's just generally going to be running around the map trying to do lots and lots of stuff. So, yeah, you can't really tell much from these initial picks, but Puckban coming out from VG, they don't really want to play against that again, and Batrider coming out, Batrider coming out from coL. So, both teams is kind of learning from last game, I think.
5 seconds remaining.
Trying to adapt here. Again, Complexity looking really strong coming in that first game. Continuing that, it seems like. I will say with these picks right here, let's not be too certain on what's going to be what, because we have seen them run Chessie, Nature's Prophet, a couple of times. And again, we just got finished seeing Moo in the offlane on a Jakiro. So it's possible it still could be something like that. But yeah, if you had to guess, usually you'd be the support Jakiro and then the offlane Nature's Prophet. But I think that's also what makes these picks kind of strong as well. The idea that you just don't know. If you're the other team, you kind of have to keep that in mind when looking at those picks right there. So, yeah, that, and then there's the idea that they went Kunkka over, say, the Spear Breaker. Kunkka, I guess the advantage of that is he brings a little more team fight presence for sure with the rum, with the Ghost Ship especially. So, is it safe to say that's probably what they're liking about him here?
Yeah, I think he's just going to be useful for catching the Furion lane, and generally he's pretty good for hunting heroes. And now they're just going to try and not die, I think, during the kind of barrage of abilities like Jakiro. They're just going to press boat, they're just going to have an Underlord who probably has a pipe and a force or something like that. And then they're just going to win the fight by outlasting, which is not a bad way to go about it.
Underlord, another hero that's made a lot of appearances recently. As you mentioned, a hero that tends not to die, or die easily at least, when it comes down to it. So, yeah, the team fight over here is definitely developing from VGJ Storm. It seems that they're going to be going for at least one core, if not a couple, that fit that idea. Right off the bat, something like a Queen of Pain even comes to mind to me, at least, for VGJ Storm. I mean, you see the Rubik, by the way, third picked by Complexity, but yeah, I mean, does that make sense to you for VGJ Storm possibly, or is there something else?
Yeah, Queen of Pain would be pretty safe, actually. It doesn't really die to Furion ganks. It's just a good hero in general. It gives a lot of damage as well, which I think VG are lacking at this point. VG are lacking like hard disable, like they don't have any like instant stun, which is not great if like Furion gets a BKB or things like that, but it doesn't matter too much in like the early to mid game, which I think is where their draft kind of fell flat last game. So yeah, maybe just stacking on the damage and a little bit more survivability is a good way to ensure that you actually get to play your own game against Complexity at this point. Because a lot of teams, I think saw it with EG, like you saw it with, well, VG last game, they just don't get to actually play their draft. So they end up playing this counter-pushing mini-game against Complexity. And I think avoiding that situation is the imperative at this point.
Yeah. Get a draft that you can kind of have control of from earlier on in the game. Not rely on that that great start that's, you know, winning the laning phase and then having to develop throughout. So they're spending plenty of time on this fourth pick, though. So now down to 30 seconds remaining of the reserve time, even less. So not too confident just yet, but going to have to pick something up here shortly. And it'll be back in Complexity's hands to, again, who knows what they're going to do. Like I said with the Nature's Prophet and Jakiro, it could still be several different roles for each of those heroes when it comes down to it. So really not sure what to expect from Complexity. I will say we're definitely not going to be seeing the Tiny because there's the IO ban, despite we saw that twice yesterday in their series against Team Dire. But sure enough, there we go. It is going to be the Queen of Pain. Again, it just made sense. But it's something to me that, you know, we were able to kind of come up with that pretty quickly. And I'm sure that was part of, like, they were too, but, man, they
10
used almost
seconds
all of their
remaining.
reserve time to do that.
Yeah, this is but the fourth pick,
5
when you don't have
seconds
last pick,
remaining.
is the most difficult pick because you have to pick something that's like a cornerstone of your draft without seeing two enemy heroes, knowing that it's going to get countered by two. So you have to pick something that is both works well with your draft and is okay with being counterpicked. Because last game they were in the exact same situation and they went with Dusa, and Dusa didn't get specifically counterpicked, but just kind of got countered by the pace of the game.
Yeah.
Quap doesn't have that same problem. Quap is not
Radiant
usually
team
like
banned.
Quap doesn't have a problem with a fast game, for instance, but she might have a problem with that.
Vipers, Viper's annoying for a lot of people. And as you mentioned, I don't think Quap is immune to that by any means. So, I mean,
10 seconds
is it safe to say that
remaining.
maybe she's better than others, though? Like, it's not like a very unfriendly
5
matchup for her. It's
seconds
just
remaining.
no one likes to play Viper, right?
Yeah, if you're going to be hero against Queen of Pain and lane, you want to be a Viper. I think Viper has one of the best matchups against Quap. But Quap is still, you just farm with Scream. You don't use Shadow Strike because you might as well be Shadow Striking yourself. You can kill with ulti because it does pure damage. It goes through Corrosive Skin, so she can kill with help, and she doesn't really die to Viper.
10
So
seconds
you just kind of have to be
remaining.
content with Quap kind of farming after the initial laning stage, because getting farm in that lane is not too fun
Radiant
before
team
level
pick.
5, for instance.
Monkey King.
And it's the Moo staple pick. So Limp Viper, Moo Monkey King, Z Freak Jakiro. Well, maybe it's going to be Kyle Jakiro probably, and Z Freak playing Rubik.
Yeah.
And then Chessie will be playing Nature's Prophet. So 17 seconds left.
10 seconds
VG
remaining.
need to pick some kind of independent safe laner. I have no idea what they're going to pick.
5
It's going to be a
seconds
surprise to me.
remaining.
Yeah, really? So you're leaning towards Moo playing the Monkey King, huh? Instead of the Nature's Prophet? I mean, he plays a plenty of Nature's Prophet, too, and I could see Chessie end up with the Monkey King as well, so...
Juggernaut.
You may
Well, I
now
mean, we'll see what it ends up
select
being
your
here, but yeah,
heroes.
Juggernaut, the final pick coming out. No, you're right, though. Okay. Interesting.
Moo really, really likes playing Monkey King. There was like at TI, there was a 5v5 fun tournament, like the Red Bull LAN thing. And I played with Moo and that, and he just basically first picked Monkey King every game because he just loves playing it. It's
Okay.
just his thing.
All right.
He just adores it. So he's just going to be playing that. Like, Juggernaut is not going to die to any of these things. He doesn't do well versus Viper ulti, but you can deal with that in other ways. But versus the Furion, like, he buys Quelling Blade. You can probably even go Battle Fury this game, and it's not going to be too bad.
Mhm.
So it's just a question of, can they sort out fights? Because fighting with this kind of VG lineup, they don't really have any good initiation. So it's going to be hard for them to start fights, I think.
A fun finish, though, to the draft. Like that. The Monkey King, always an entertaining hero, and again, in the hands of Moo. Player that apparently is pretty comfortable playing it, as you're getting at. So, but it's also mentioning with the Nature's Prophet being played by Chessie here at the beginning. I personally haven't casted a game with this, though, so I'm very curious to see how it does now for Complexity, kind of firsthand here, as it is going to be in his control, of course. But Kyle immediately pushed the top lane with the wards on him. And going to be looking down to get those wards here. Flea, also very aggressive, though. With those boots, he runs in here, gets a very deep ward, actually, to spot what's going on here.
All right. So Queen of Pain has seen the Viper and has decided, nope, not doing that. So she's going to go down bot lane, which is a decent matchup. It's not fantastic for Quap against Furion, but the Lich Jug is going to be the lane to challenge the Viper. I think overall this is definitely the correct move from Stan.
Okay.
Stan, after all, being the man, he knows what to do, but he might just die to the smoke. But he has some kind of sixth sense to know to not walk up that hill right now.
Yeah.
30
Sitting
seconds
just
to
on the
battle.
outskirts. It's like that's like whenever I see players do that, it's just so crazy to me because that's just like so many games of playing. I feel like where they just seem to know they have that spider sense, as we say, and he just avoids going there. Instead, he goes over here, puts down the sentry. Obviously, he's wrong on where it's
Flea.
placed.
Flea, no, this is not where you want to be, friend.
Oh boy. Well, so much for that spider sense. Flea didn't have it. And he
The other
runs
thing,
right
though,
into
that
them.
Lich really
I'm
had
just
no
getting
reason to walk up that hill anyway, even with any sixth sense. So,
That as tribute.
Fair.
overall, losing the 4, he didn't really lose any gold, but
Tribute.
I think all the gold went to the Monkey King there. Then, so Monkey King's gonna have a really good start here. and that's not good for VG, obviously. So
No. No, he's a hero that can definitely get very active and very involved in the game pretty early on. So, yeah, getting that first blood, not the best news if you're a VGJ Storm, but it happened. Let's recover now. Should be the attitude. So you talked about sending a Lich Juggernaut to the middle lane here on the side of VGJ Storm, and the idea, you know, denying constantly with the Lich, and ideally Juggernaut can kind of get in a fair amount of last hits, but overall Viper, I mean, right off the bat, just starts harassing, putting in the auto attacks, and having a good time. Yeah, I'm watching this bottom lane, too. You see Queen of Pain just really trying to leech experience any way that she can, but coL eventually finds her, throws out the dual breath. Just be a little careful to get committed, because Flea's also nearby, as they know, and is just going to run at him now. So it's going to be an interesting 2 versus 2 lane down here at the bottom. For now, at least.
yeah, this is not really what they wanted for the cop. They want a cop to be in a 1v1 or to get as much as possible, but this lane isn't really ideal for that. But she just kind of needs to survive. But Monkey King is happy to trade like this.
Yeah, Jingu Mastery, pretty good for that, as far as putting in the auto attacks against a hero. So eventually gets in a back off. Ritsu continues to take the harassment middle lane. Back down here, though. Again, the fully charged Monkey King. Oof. Almost casts the Boundless Strike right there, but Queen of Pain blinks away in time. So he holds off on it, but yeah, you can just tell the aggressive play coming out and how that's going to be an issue for Queen of Pain at that bottom lane. I'm watching the top lane now as Underlord gets lifted back in. The blocks coming out from Chessie of Swords, snaking. Oh, the beautiful blocks with the trees as well as Seafreak himself. And there's just no chance he's getting out of that one when they micromanage so well, as we saw.
Yeah, that was, I think, an overstep from Snaking, but yeah, you can't really anticipate that happening to you. That's just unfortunate, I think, for him. Fury is sitting at 14 and 3. He's very, very happy in this lane. They're farming on all 3 cores. Like, Viper is not, like, vipering. You know, he's not crushing some enemy hero, but he's also farming himself against the Lich lane, which is probably about what you'd expect here for them. They're happy with this, I think. I think the main hallmark for this game compared to the last one is that, like, coL don't have to rotate. They're just kind of getting results from just having their lanes pretty static. You know, like, they're getting kills mid. They're getting a kill top from their static Fury and Rubik lane. They're winning bot lane with just this Monkey King and Jakiro. They don't have to have some Spirit Breaker charging around to get the same result as they did last time.
Yeah.
So,
nice
overall,
benefit.
pretty successful.
Yeah, overall pretty good for complexity. And what's really standing out to me is the idea that Rubik is 5-0 on Creep Farm. Queen of Pain is 3-0 on this other side. 747 just cannot get any kind of last hits in here. And again, with the matchup, it's understandable. Even with Kunkka nearby, he really couldn't do a whole lot himself to assist with that. So they're essentially sacrificing the Queen of Pain right here to, I guess, get better farm on Juggernaut in the middle. But is that even really I don't know. It was going to be a tough matchup nonetheless. And we see right here, she's just going to have to blink back to the tower and hug that now. So little farm for Queen, only level 3 still for the time being. It's a brutal game so far. And Queen of Pain is not just a hero you can just go to the jungle with by any means or anything like that. So, but anyways, rotation middle lane limp. There's a torrent combo. Here comes Z-Freak trying to help out, puts the Fade Bolt up, but it's not going to be enough. So good job from VGJ. They find a kill, and that's on Viper middle lane.
Yeah, this is what they need to do. Like, they can't really salvage the lanes that are going pretty badly, but they can win the lanes that they're winning far harder than they otherwise should by getting kills like this. So this is what they need to be doing. Like, this Quap is, in terms of the mid-game or early game, she's pretty much a lost cause. She's going to get what she can, but she can't really offer that much at this point. So fighting with her, with, like, just Conquer and Quap in bot lane, together they don't do very much.
Yeah.
So they're just going to leave that lane, accept that Monkey King's going to farm, and just kind of play around the other lanes. Already Chessie's getting ran at. Maybe this is a kill. I think it should be. Yeah, it definitely is.
And there's no way he's TPing out. So yeah, the roaming Kunkka. We're starting to feel his presence now. Complexity is in this game here. So that's definitely great news for them and continuing to be. Now we're tied at 2 hero kills apiece. So, I mean, the Queen of Pain struggle continues, but if you can really make space in the other lanes, eventually Queen of Pain will be able to get some kind of farm going this game. Sooner than later.
I hope it starts soon. Like, but how do they really provide it? They can't say like, "Hey Quap, here's your 1v1 against the level 5 Furion with phase boots." Or, "Hey Quap, here's your 1v1 versus the level 5 Viper with a Keeler and boots." It's like, it's not really. There's no alternative place for him to go. So he just has to accept that he's just not gonna be very rich.
Monkey King's pointing to the top lane, trying to assist the Wukong's command. No, it's the Primal Spring, excuse me, coming out right there. I was going to say he's not level 6 just yet, and they do pick off Nature's Prophet, but Snake King may end up falling in return. That Armor of Lich is no doubt assisting right here, but he Primal Springs back down, or just more so leaps back down, and Boundless Strike to finish the job. So at least gets the turn kill onto Underlord. Flea, he's running. Oh, runs into a teleport, though, of Nature's Prophet. He says, remember me? Yeah, you just killed me a couple seconds ago. There's the revenge. So Jesse gets credit, and it makes it a 2-for-1 in favor of Complexity. So one idea I did have, as Queen of Pain is going to start getting a little bit of farm here, what about sending Underlord to the bottom lane and then just having Queen of Pain to the top? But, I mean, now Monkey King's rotated, so I don't even know if that would be the best case here.
I think the best thing to do is just have Top like try and pull this hard camp and just get what you can against the Jakiro. And then just accept that they're going to have to do stuff on other lanes and just drag the Furion and the Monkey King away.
Yeah.
Like, doing these dives is the best thing for this Queen of Pain. It may not be the best thing for the heroes actually doing the dives, but overall, it's probably what they need to have this Quap be a factor. But then you realize that the Quap's level 4, and she's 6-0 versus the 11-8 Jakiro. So now she's left at a 1v1 versus the support, but it's still an absolutely terrible lane for her in the side lane.
Yeah.
So she's just, it's not a good day to be Quap, really.
Not the friendliest. Now, we do see middle lane again. Limp, they're going to get the turn kill. Limp is dying, though. He does have that level 3 corrosive skin, and maybe with Chessie coming in, his brother is going to be enough to not only save him, but get some more turn kills. No, Kunkka does run down the Viper and secures that kill at least. So that would have been horrific for VGJ Storm if they didn't even get the Viper kill. But it does cost them 2 casualties, both of their supports, as Juggernaut is able to back off before he 2 falls right there. So he has that Lich armor again, and as usual, that is continuing to do a fair amount of work. You're going to try to protect this middle tower with it, but still Nature's Prophet knocking on the door. He's doing
If I remember that correctly, though, the Viper just decided to go for the right click onto the Juggernaut, possibly like thinking that they can kill the Jug if he got that right click off instead of just hitting the Kunkka that was chasing.
Yeah, he did.
So
I
he
noticed that
just
too.
died
Yeah.
for that. Yeah, that was just not pretty good play. Snaking is going to get out.
Yep.
Just barely, so he will be fine. But his ulti's on cooldown now, so he can't be the Uber Lord that he wants to be. And Kyle has just kind of started on this stack, so he's just gonna be pretty farmed.
Yeah.
Like he's just farming bot lane.
Well, there you go.
Chessie is the man with no home, but he's fine with that. But Kyle is just he's dandy.
And again, this bottom lane, there you go. Teleport in. Kunkka TP's out though, and Queen of Pain blinks away before it gets caught. So they'll just pressure this bottom tower at least, but it really goes back to it. You can see more and more every day, I feel like, that why Jakiro is such highly valued lately, again, by these NA teams especially. Just so many different roles. Middle lane, by the way, this is an Omni Slash on the Viper. Not the most damage. That level 4 corrosive skin do it so much work, but it's not going to be enough in the end as the Chain Frost bounces around. Of course, Kunkka there to assist as well. So we've seen that several times now where they collapse on a Viper and his 3rd death in the game, but it does mean this bottom tier 1 tower is most likely going to fall. But this Juggernaut, Ritsu, he's doing all right here.
Yeah, he's got his phase boost going, I think. What else he got in the career? Yeah, he's got phase boost, he's got clarity coming out. He just wants to be able to spin and TP somewhere if he needs to. Moo is under fire here, but he might get a return kill. He does.
Yeah, I was going to say, he's kind of manning up, if anything, but yeah, he does end up going down, but he got the return kill on a Queen of Pain shortly before.
7/7 with that death accepts the treads. It's not going to cut it. He just puts the minus in his quick buy. He's accepted that farm is a long way away, and he's going to get it however, whatever it takes.
Queen of Pain Midas. That's going to be, you know, that's when you know stuff is bad. It's pretty much the point. Jesse, he's going to be able to port out before he gets stopped there. However, over here, Kyle, and now Z-Freak. Kyle TP's out. Z-Freak TP in 5 more seconds. There is no Omni Slash. Might not matter, though. He's got a Fade Bolt, trying to keep him alive. He does have a TP now, but too much chase. And Ritsu goes full Super Saiyan right there.
Unfortunate. Kunkka was going to get 6 top, and he was in that creep wave, ready to get his 6, and then Chessie just shows up. Chessie got this kill because when he was TPing at bot, he started TPing using his teleportation spell, his W, and then he was like, actually no, he cancelled that and then TP'd back with his teleport scroll, so then he can be here to get this kill. So as a result, they're probably going to get maybe this tower, probably not, but just small plays like that making the difference.
Yeah, making use of a hero such as the Nature's Prophet especially. So And it looks like he is going those drums, by the way, and sure enough, has it finished in the stash, just needs to be delivered now. Echo Saber queued up for the Monkey King. He has plenty of build out, the poor man shield, the phase boots, and now the Ring of Aquila. But that Echo Saber, going to be his first item choice. So again, just the continuation idea. Every time I cast Complexity here these last couple of weeks, it's just the same theme. Let's build these aura-based items. Let's build these items that are going to allow us to push objectives, fight earlier on. They're never a team that's going to be over-the-top greedy as far as like all Hannah Midases or anything like that. So Viper continuing that as well. In fact, he has his own Helm of the Dominator coming, as I kind of talked about in the previous game as well.
Yeah, Viper's kind of been a sacrificial lamb for the most part. Still sitting second on CS, though. Pretty much higher than everyone on Radiant, but just with 3 deaths. He's not really doing that well, but he's basically got a core for his 4 position on Jakiro. So Jakiro's just been making stacks and farming them repeatedly and just pushing out bot lane. Now battle begins on top lane.
Yeah, that's an Omni-Slide. Okay, they really wanted that kill. They commit to it and make it happen. Monkey King nearby. Does not have the Wukong's command yet. He is level 8, but choosing to pass it up for now. And this could be a free... Nope, never mind. They're Ubering to the bottom lane. Dark Rift activated. Queen of Pain's here. Does have that Scream ready. Maybe catch Jakiro? No, they're already backing off, aren't they? So I don't know. Yeah, I guess they might have just picked up on that and they just walk it off, so not a big deal for them.
Liv might be in the path of this. He needs to back pretty much now, otherwise he's dead. I think he might just be fine.
Oh.
No, he's pretty dead, I think.
He is in trouble. Yeah, there we go. The Scream, not even necessary. The Sonic Wave, I should say, not necessary. And Viper's dead, so yet another kill onto him. Yeah, he's been the one struggle here for Complexity, but even struggle not so much, as you're talking about. As CS, he's doing great, and hell, he's still 4th overall in net worth in this game, so still managing just fine. Is that to VGJ Storm where, I mean, I know he's kind of the easier target to gank, it feels like, but they really need to be locking on this Monkey King, if anything, especially the Nature's Prophet, too. Taking care of them.
Yeah, I think at this time, I think VGJ are having a much better time overall in their cause. Like, Quap, she's actually, it's not that bad. She's like 1.5k net worth behind a Viper. Like, Quap gets a kill, Viper dies again, she'll probably equalize roughly. She's going to get a Midas and farm. They are getting farm, just not very much.
Z3 top lane. He's doing his best to live right here. TP out somehow. Probably not. He does have some stick charges, but no. Not going to be enough. Now, bottom lane, while that's happening, snaking. Yep, he gets run down, so they do get a response out of it. Does Complexity. And so many trees being spawned here by Chessie. They may push this tier 2 tower. He does have drums ready as well. There's the invulnerability. Here comes Lich and Kunkka. The ship is ready, but a fully charged Monkey King is also ready with the Wukong's command. He's going to be going in here. Boundless Strike opening. The Wukong's command throwing out. That's a dead Kunkka for sure. He drinks some run to maybe ease the pain, and actually, they did not really overcommit to that, so.
They don't really have any follow-up. Like, they didn't cast anything else. They didn't use that much. Like, Monkey King didn't even have the mana to jump in and slow.
Okay.
So, they get the tower, so it's still worth, but they probably could have got a kill out of that if they just committed pretty heavily. But then, committing in this game is kind of scary because Joke has ult up and that kind of thing. So, you don't really want to commit too much.
Yeah, I thought for sure they were committing, but they kind of backed up. Like you said, you know what? They got the tier 2 tower. It's so goes back to the objective idea, mindset that they have, and now they back up. They kind of smoke up, and they're going to wrap around here bottom lane. Now, you also mentioned that's a dead Lich.
They can just take these fights, and Lich, as a result, is going to fall over.
God, those right clicks, man. Underlord TP out at least, but Chessie, meanwhile, down at the top lane, and I got to say, Flea's just doing so much work here for VGJ Storm. He's 4 deaths, but I mean 3, 4, and 7 overall. 10 of the 11 kills he's been involved in. This Kunkka, as you would hope for, is definitely setting up the ganks needed here for this Radiant side at least.
Yeah, I think killing the Furion is extremely important because he's one of the main lane pushers, obviously. But coL are just kind of setting up shop in this Radiant jungle. They've got aggressive wards. They see who's TPing into the tier 2. They're going to lose the one that was in the tier 2 area bot, but obviously the tower's dead now, so it's lost its value. But I think you'll see VGJ just try and move up and play around this top area because fighting under coL's wards is going to be a dangerous prospect. Especially versus Monkey King and this long-range stun, you know.
Yeah.
It's get caught out by it extremely easily, as you saw on bot lane, but that wasn't exactly the follow-up that time.
Potential's there, though, and now he has the Echo Saber going to be delivered here. Queen of Pain, we haven't really mentioned her in a little bit for good reason, but she's got the Animitis and another 1,500 gold saved up, so 747, he's doing his darnest to kind of come online here in this game. He's going to be going to Yules, it looks like, for his first item choice. Somewhat more of the defensive item here, as Monkey King can be impatient at the bottom, but Underlord's not going to push it out too far. Limp's been hiding up here at the top lane, by the way.
Yeah, he's just been sitting here for a while, and now he's going to emerge. He's just going to walk away from the tower with his Muck Golem in tow. Well, the Muck Golem will attack the creep wave and keep the tower alive, which is pretty nice. He doesn't have to be there. Z-Freak and coL moving around in smoke.
Oh, bottom. Yeah, TP in from Nature's Prophet. The Chain Frost, it only hits Moo once, so no bounces coming out. And now the turn on the Stand King, perhaps he spawns some trees. But Jesse, did he hang around a little bit too long? Out comes the ship. Torrent Sun on top of the ship, stun, and Jesse probably going to fall right here. Once again, Flea, the man making the big plays for VGJ Storm. So that all started with them trying to jump Monkey King. And
that was a little bit of miscommunication there. I felt like, you know, it's just like Monkey King was just like, okay, I'm going to stun these guys, going to try and jump out, and then Furion TP's in, and then Chain Frost is pressing. It's like, oh god, I've just going to provide this Chain Frost bounce target. And then Monkey King runs away, and Furion tries to go Sprout, and then Furion ends up dying. I don't really think they need to take that fight at all. It's not a good place to fight. But I think the good part about that, fighting in that area, is they cause VG to place this ward, which is basically at the far end of their own jungle. So VG don't really have any. They have one ward that's half duration, which sees where the Viper and the Jakiro are farming. But
yeah,
other than that, they don't really have that much like information to work with. So coL basically gets to farm uninterrupted on 3, maybe 4 heroes. They're farming all lanes right now, so he's got to hope this Midas and farming the jungle with Jug is gonna be enough at this point.
Yeah, with Jesse dying like 3 times in the last 5 minutes, it feels like. It's still kind of shocking to me that he's able to still top the net worth chart in this game. It kind of goes back to, yeah, he just goes back to farming, and the Orchid is just about finished now as because of this great farm that he happens to have here. Viper, now the Dragonlance going to be working on that Hurricane Pike we see. What did I notice? Oh, yeah, Underlord. Underlord going an item we do not get the chance to see often nowadays. Going to be going the Crimson Guard here up against Complexity. I kind of like it. Does it make sense to you?
Yeah, it makes sense far more than pretty much any other game you'd see it in.
Wait.
You've got just lots of... Wait, what?
Well, now he changed it. I mean, he has a Vitality booster even, but now he's changing it to Pipe. Oh, he has it finished. Okay, okay. Jesus, okay. I was like, what is he doing?
So,
right, anyways.
Actually, like, outside of the Monkey King, it doesn't really look like coL have any like major burst damage, so killing this Underlord is like the most. It's not easy. Killing anyone near the Underlord is not easy, and they're gonna catch Z-Freak, get their free Rubik kill, and move along. I think.
There you go. He does a little bit of return damage, but
it's not quite enough. The thing I'm seeing here is like you see Furion. He was sitting top of net worth. Now he's been overtaken by Jug. He's got this 4K net worth item, but Silence isn't going to help him versus Underlord, really. It's not going to help him versus the Jug or the Plot, because Yules and Manta are coming out, so...
Yeah. Oh, the turn on a Queen of Pain. She thought she had an opening. She did not. Nature's Prophet comes in, and Queen of Pain melts away. He does finish the Yules, at least, so... Again, the game of recovery continues for 747, but... Obviously, a big turn for Complexity onto him. And now Jakiro just going to put more pressure on the top lane even after that kill happens.
So Flea's just going to push out this bot lane. Someone's going to turn their attention towards top lane. But of all the times to make a play with Pop, as your Yules is on the courier coming towards you, or just bought, like, I don't think that was the time. But I don't think he really knew that the Orchid was coming out. So he's not really to blame for that. It's just unfortunate how that ended up going. But now he has the... He shouldn't die at this point. I think VGJ are just very, very tanky and hard to kill, especially with both. They've got Underlord, they've got the Crimson Guard, they're going to have 4 staffs coming out, and now your Viper isn't extraordinarily farmed. Furion doesn't do a huge amount of damage. Monkey King also, he needs his BKB really to kind of move around these fights. So there's a little window here, I think, where VGJ just can kind of farm safely. There's not too much to worry about.
Well, so okay, so farming safely. I'm curious what you think on the item that Ritsu gets next, because I've noticed that he's actually been going through a couple of choices. He had Maelstrom queued up, then he had a Butterfly, and now he's a Diffusal, and so it seems like he's also trying to figure out what makes the most sense here. I could see logic for all of those items, frankly, but he's sitting on the Diffusal now. What do you think?
There's some weird fight going on. Bot Monkey King might die.
Well, actually, he might get a turn kill even. Queen of Pain, that Crimson card's not going to save, and the Wrath of Nature even assisting that Chain Frost. Oh, if he gets up lucky, bounces one more. Oh, if he stayed in range, that would have killed him right there. But he does barely get out, and he survives as he tree hops away in the end. Oof,
this game is just not going 747's way. Not at all.
No.
Everything just, it's just a comedy of not errors, but misfortune at this point.
Yeah. So, Juggernaut, though, his next item. What makes the most sense to you?
Well, Diffusal just kind of lets him just lock someone down and straight up kill them. Kyle will find out the hard way, but no Diffusal needed here. Oh, no, he's got the Duke.
Oh. No, the X now. Oh, nice timing. He's actually escaping, kinda. The trees? Oh, if they could get there and block, that would have been something.
Made him work for it, but yeah, Diffusal it gives you a lot of damage. It gives you damage from the Manta illusions as well. It adds a lot of value to the Manta style, and just basically means you can chase people down. So Juggernaut usually has a problem where he just kind of runs after people, going, "Wait up, just let me press my buttons on you." But with Diffusal, you don't have that problem. It's also just a lot of damage. But I think he decides, no, I'm just going to tank up. I'm going to buy Skadi now. I don't know, we might switch to Battle Fury.
Yeah, no, this is my point. He's literally been on like 5 different items here since he's gotten the Manta style, so he really is unsure of what makes the most sense, and we'll see what he ends up going with. Oh, they do catch Moo, by the way. Okay, Moo's been down here for a long time. Yeah, they do find him, though.
Killing him before his BKB, like, now Underlord is starting to work up into the higher echelons of net worth. Quap is also slowly making her way back up. I think the whole indecision on Juggernaut's part is basically like, he realizes that he's about 50% of his team's net worth, he's 7-0, he doesn't really want to build the wrong item because it feels like if he builds the wrong item, then it's probably going to be the main cause of them losing, for instance. So that can maybe factor into it, but I think it's just hard to really tell what's the best item because Diffusal doesn't really feel that great. There's no like Yules or anything to really counter with the Diffusal.
Yeah.
It's nothing really that's that hard to lock down. But he just needs to be a bigger and better Juggernaut, and he doesn't really know what's going to help him do that. So I think Diffusal's probably safer than Skadi, because Skadi has that problem where you don't have that much burst. I think he just wants to stay alive, really.
Man, complexity is just all about we're doing our own things. I know you're kind of getting at that earlier there, Ryan, but that's not changing. They're just split pushing the lanes, farming in all different places. Eventually, it feels like it's going to come to a point, though, where do they get together? Do they group up and push objectives? Or is this always going to be the game plan, you think, for complexity? Just play the split push game with the lineup they have?
I just think that, yeah, they can't really stop the Underlord pushing out lanes and Quap pushing out lanes. They don't really have the tools to deal with this level of, like, just split push coming out from VG. So it's very hard for them to group up. There's like no easy pick-off. Like, how do they do it? They go with a smoke, and then they Monkey King stun into Ice Path, and then they can maybe kill a Queen of Pain. And in the meantime, Underlord and Jug push out the other 2 lanes or something like that. It doesn't really feel like grouping up is really beneficial, especially that the team fight with Radiant is just so much stronger outside of like the best Monkey King out in the world.
On top lane, do they really have enough damage here? Underlord coming in, I guess they would with him. Move off to the side with the Wukong's command out of the lift on a Queen of Pain. Queen of Pain blinks away. The Viper Strike is on him, though. He might still end up dying in the backlines right there. The Crimson Guard's up, not going to matter, though. Down goes Lich. You see Queen of Pain barely TPs out with 1 life and does survive. I think the Rum might have saved her, actually. And now we see Underlord trying to escape as well. The Ice Path, oh, it just was not in time, and the TPs come out all. Lich, the only one that dies, actually. Meanwhile, middle lane, Juggernaut's pushing, and he's going for the TP as well. They do not have a stopper. Wow. I mean, the fact that only one hero died there for VGJ Storm is absolutely insane, considering how that fight was looking.
Taking the 4-on-5 without their jug is just they kind of realized, okay, we cannot do this, and they all bailed. And they all somehow got out. So, yeah, that's pretty much best case scenario there for VG. I'm sure they're going to be extremely happy with that. In the meantime, though, you've got wards. Like coL managed to get a aggressive ward out on the enemy shrine. Like they got one on the ancients, but that's going to time out pretty soon. So they see where Jug is, but I don't think there's really anything they can do to plan to kill him at this point. So coL have a lot of information, but they just can't do very much with it, you know?
Oh, Viper. Instead, he's going to head back towards the bottom lane and continue to just farm more Limp. Third in net worth in this game, but you know, we'll say Juggernaut has overtaken the top and slowly but surely continuing a little bit of a lead here is Ritsu, and he picks up the ultimate orb, so pretty committed towards the Eye of Scotty now with that item right here. Not, yeah, it's probably going to be Eye of Scotty, yeah. Again, that's what he has shift queued as well. So, and he's actually going to smoke up right here with Lich wrapping around the middle lane, it seems like.
A reward though, I'm pretty sure. So,
did they?
coL should know about this, yeah. There's the ward in the shrine. Should have caught them.
Okay. Yeah, there. Ooh, they go for the Roshan.
All on the Monkey King. It's all on the Monkey King ulti and the Jakiro follow-up, I think, to take a Rosh fight for coL. Because this Pit Lord is just... he's just scary.
Lift onto Underlord. He steals a Firestorm. Meanwhile, Moo gets fouled by Juggernaut, but he just puts an auto attack, does the Monkey King, and now Lich runs into him. The Boundless Strike finishes him off. You see Roshan still plenty of life. Underlord, he TP's out though, so they're having an issue stopping these TPs here on the side of Complexity, but they'll transition into the Roshan pit though themselves. So it seemed like, yeah, a pretty risky attempt from VGJ Storm right there. Maybe they feel like they're in a spot where they kind of have to be making things like that happen, but Complexity now taking it for themselves, but it's not going to be free by any means. Omni-Slash on a coL, going to maybe spread to somebody else. coL's not going to die though. The pipe comes out, and now Juggernaut's in a lot of trouble. If he dies right here, that's going to be huge. He gets a spin-off at least, and they do get the kill on Jakiro. Beautiful Sprout block though. It pushes him back in, and that is a death that will be staying dead for Juggernaut now. Monkey King with the BKB. They're hunting. Not going to find anyone. They're going to go back to Roshan, and oh no, man, he did die. What am I saying? Limp actually TP's top. Not going to get Queen of Pain, though, during that. So Moo picked up the Aegis.
That fight felt like they backed off when they could have fought on the side of VG. Like, the Jug kind of span away from the Monkey King when he could have fought him, and then he kind of went in when they had all backed off. So that was pretty strange. Quap got the kill on the Jakiro on the backline, but yeah, it's just not a... That was very disorganized. Like, they lost their Lich pretty early on because he was stuck in the Roche pit. He had really no way to get out. He was dead to Monkey King no matter what happened there.
Yeah.
But they were... I think the whole smoke being caught is just... They didn't want to fight there in that way. But having to make decisions like that extremely quickly when you don't have all the information, they didn't see where all the Complexity were, so it's hard to make that call if they should fight or not, so...
Queen of Pain, man, has a plate mail, going a Shiva's here. This is just... oh boy, Cassius Curse. I'm sorry. Sorry I mentioned your name.
Heals sets off the Jakiro.
Yeah, it's like, Jakiro's like, thank you. That's going to set this up pretty nicely. I just don't... I mean, we've said it time and time. It's only 4 deaths. Like, it feels like it's actually been a lot more, but he just can't get any consistent farm going this game at all.
Yeah, he just has to accept. He's eventually going to get Shivas. Like, just try and... to keep playing the game, just don't let the desk get out of control, don't overextend too far, just keep farming. When they get Shivas and they get... Oh, so they're actually going to go 2 Shivas. They got Boost of Travel coming out and snaking, but he's got Shivas in a quick buy.
Oh.
I'd be surprised if he doesn't change that to AC or some other item like the 4 to 5k range. But I think when they get the Shivas and another aura, like they'll actually be able to take fights pretty confidently because there isn't a huge amount of damage from coL. I keep pointing that out, but they do seem to kill everyone anyway, so... coL is having this aggressive circle of wards. They've got one in the middle of the jungle, they've got one that sees people near the T3, they've also got this other one on the shrine. Like, they have pretty much full information as to what's going on. They know there's people top lane, Limp is playing pretty safely up here, so a pretty slow game now.
Yeah, Lotus Orb definitely comes to mind as a possibility for the Underlord, if anything, too. But look at Kunkka here. I love this. He's kind of back doing the creep wave right there. He uses everything, and then he just TPs out after he gets X'd back. So making clever use of that middle lane. The blink in from Z-Freak. And he just sets up what's just an easy kill onto Queen of Pain right there. Another great find for Complexity. 45 more seconds before she's going to be back up. Aegis still on Monkey King. So they definitely would like to make a play with this, I'm sure. Diffusal's almost finished. It's not here just yet. He still needs the pattern, which basically is in 2 gold.
Once he gets that, Pop's life is going to be even worse. The Yule ceases to be of any effect, basically.
Yeah.
I just think, like, what do you think some people think that's like, okay, guys, I've just died, like, pushing this lane. Like, there's no way there are going to be 3 heroes waiting for me to push this lane, right? There's no way they're just sitting here waiting to kill me. And then, of course, just Z-Freak is just sitting there with his Blink Dagger, and coL just like, alright, we'll take this kill. I think coL is just very patient, and they're just in the right places.
Yeah.
Which is, it's pretty easy to be in the right places where you have this ring of pretty much omniscient wards, but still doing pretty well for themselves.
Well, Z-Freak, he's almost winning right there. If Underlord did not force staff when he did, he was definitely dead. So good reaction on his part, just in time. Instead, Z-Freak will use that Scream that he has stolen to push out the bottom lane a little bit more. Kunkka and the crew, they're running on out, trying to maybe catch the Rubik. He's sticking around a little bit too long. Does have that Yules himself as mentioned. He might need to use it here. There you go. Prevent the X, and just walks it off. Meanwhile, Monkey King goes in. Couldn't really catch anyone, though. Oh, maybe they will. They're going to catch Flea. Yep, he's definitely dropping here. So he's staying dead, too. He's dead for 50 seconds.
They have under. They should be okay to defend this, I'm pretty sure.
Big ulti they're missing.
He's going to catch the Lich.
Oh, he steals a Firestorm as well, throws it right back at him. The Crimson Guard barely keeping alive in the back lines. They also got Lich, so they're definitely pushing now. BKB activated by Mu throughout this as well. On top of that Pit of Malice, the Aegis is reclaimed. This,
Well, he tried.
He tried. The Omni Slash bouncing around from hero to hero. Not the most damage coming out. Ritsu's just going to spin away. That's an easy Rax kill right there. I just don't think there's much more else to be said. I mean, this is just Complexity rolling through VGJ Storm, and they will take the series 2-0 over the Storm team here. The good news for VGJ Storm is it is a double elimination, you know, kind of just recoup, refresh. Obviously, Complexity is a very good team, as they've been shown here recently. We'll see how they do in the losers.
Pretty much dominant recently in their last few matches.
Yeah.
It seems like, especially with EG in this series as well. Like, I kept like holding out for some point where VG Draft would just kind of like, they team fight with the Pit Lord, they get the Shivas, like Juggernaut's farm would come to fruition, and then they would take the fight, and suddenly this push from Complexity would be routed, but they just died. And Lich just got TP'd on, Monkey King killed the Underlord, and then the game was just over. So maybe just holding out for the eventual comeback, it didn't really appear. I think that draft was capable of it, but it just didn't happen.
It felt like it was. No, I agree. I mean, hell, you had a Juggernaut that was 7-1-3. Like he was actually doing pretty damn well that game, and for a fair amount, he was on top of the net worth chart and a team that had a great team fight synergy. But I'm with you there. They just never had the opportunity to really show that. It felt like, and have it all come together to give themselves a chance in what was that game number 2. So. Complexity, they'll take it though. Moving on to the second round here of these NA qualifiers of the Perfect World, what is a minor event coming at you. So looking forward to seeing how this continues to shape up. And speaking of that, it's going to continue on into our next match in a little bit from here, in just over an hour from now. On this stream, we are going to be casting what's Team Dire versus a team called SF Express. I'm not going to lie, I don't really know much about that team there. I believe they're one of the open qualifier teams. Don't really have any information on them, but safe to say Team Dire going to be the favored in that matchup, but we'll see what SF Express is able to put up, what kind of fight they're able to put up, that is, in their match. And also there is, I believe on Beyond the Summit 2, there's actually coverage for the other side of matches that is also happening. In fact, Digital Chaos versus Rattletrap should be taking place right now, another open qualifier team that's playing here in these NA regionals. So We got plenty of coverage for you, and again, this is now the new set of qualifiers coming at you. This being the perfect world. I know the Dota pick qualifier is also starting up here, so it's a brand new week. Plenty more Dota happening. But, Ryan, we are going to be taking a break for now, so anything else before we do?
Well, coL just really, really strong. Like, they seem to have some minor mistakes, but it just feels like overall they're just the stronger team in pretty much every scenario here. So I'm going to be scared of them, but I'm looking forward to see how my boy CCNC does.
I am as well. We'll see how they do.
I know this other team, this SF Express seems to be a 7k average Chinese stack, so probably going to be, I don't know what you can expect out of them. They might be pretty strong.
Wait, a Chinese stack?
Well, all of their names are in Chinese when I look on their Dota buff, so
oh, really?
If this is the right team, which I hope it is. So
interesting. Well, that will be something. That will be something to see, especially if that's the case. But, all right, again, that's supposed to happen an hour from now. What is 6 p.m. Eastern here? So, yeah, just about an hour from now. Again, those teams going to be matched up here on this stream. So, Team Dire versus SF Express. I'm Breaky CBK, joined by Rhyme here, guys. Enjoy the break. Another content to watch, but we'll see you in about an hour from now.